What is going on YouTube? It is Essie here, guys, and today we're going to be talking PS4 and Xbox One next generation consoles are almost here, and I'm going to basically compare the both and give you guys my opinion on both of the consoles, and basically tell you guys which one that I am getting, because we're basically almost there now. We obviously got the final details for both consoles, and nothing's going to change now, at least for release day. So yeah, I thought I'll do a video on this. Basically, I'm not gonna specifically do a comparison in terms of specifics such as like exact specs and stuff like that. But I'm just gonna give you guys an insight onto what these specs are, what they can both offer, and then hopefully give you guys my opinion on them and give you guys my thoughts on them. So first of all, let's just start off with the specs. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna specifically talk exactly what the RAM is and what processors in each of them or what the hard drive is, because you guys can obviously look that up on the internet and have a look for yourself. But what I can say is that the PlayStation 4 is more powerful, and I'm sure that you guys already know about that. And yeah, it is more powerful system. Now, obviously, being a more powerful system, it does mean that games can reach a better level of quality, but it doesn't mean that it will, because developers sometimes can try and equal it out, and the PS3 was a more powerful system than the Xbox 360, and quite a lot of the games did actually end up looking better on the Xbox 360 this current gen. So who knows what could happen this gen? At least for the release date titles, PS4 does look like the winner, because those specs are proven to be vital. One very good example is obviously Call of Duty Ghost, which obviously runs 1080p native on the PlayStation 4, while it runs 720p native, obviously upscaled 1080p on the Xbox One, which is obviously due to those specs. But it is early days, and developers have made up the excuse that they're not getting into, they're only just getting used to the hardware. But in the future, if they can get better with the Xbox One hardware, they're obviously going to get better with the PS4 hardware. So it looks like maybe the PS4 does have the edge here, but again, the PS3 did have some problems with it, maybe because it was the more powerful system. But then again, it was this cell processor which was hard to develop, or while the PS4 it looks like a very easy system to develop for, because it's basically a PC architect. So I don't think that they'll have this problem this time around. So I mean, in specs, it does put Sony and PlayStation 4 in the upper hand, and I think it's a big win to have over the Xbox One, because of all the games and everything. It does also come down to the specs, because that does determine how good the games are. But it's not that important, because what I think is actually more important is the games which are out for that system. And I think the PS3 this current gen had some amazing exclusive. I think it did beat the Xbox overall. I think the Xbox had a good early start, with the likes of Halo, Gears of War, but then it did kind of go off a little bit, and I think the PS3 did really take over with the likes of Uncharted, Last of Us, Journey, some great exclusive which came out for the PS3. And in terms of a release day, obviously the PS4 has Killzone Shadowfall, Knack. What other games? I'm sure there's some other games out there which you guys know. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But Xbox One has Dead Rising 3, Forza 5. It also has some great games. So obviously, you can't tell from release day and all things like that. But obviously, Titanfall's coming out for the Xbox, and I'm sure PS4, sorry, has Infamous Second Son, which looks great. And we don't know what's going to happen with exclusives on in the future, but I'm sure that they'll both have great exclusive games. Obviously, PS4 will have Naughty Dog, I'm sure, working on a new Uncharted game, or whatever they'll release. They've got their Santa Monica studios working on what's rumored to be a new God of War. Sorry, so yeah, we don't know what's going to happen in the future for both consoles in terms of games, but I'm sure that they'll both be great games on each console. But as I pointed out earlier to the specs, who knows? Maybe they could look, or could end up looking better on the PS4, especially in terms of exclusive. Because when you look at current gen, you look at the exclusives on the PS3, they look significantly better than, well, not significantly better, but still better than on the Xbox, because you look at games like Uncharted, Last of Us, they really were like the kind of the pinnacle of what how graphics could look on this current gen. So again, games is a debatable topic, and I guess we'll have a good idea where we are at maybe from a year or 2 years from now. So in terms of the controller, I think Xbox did win it this current gen. They did have a more comfortable controller, and there were a lot of people who weren't happy with the DualShock 3. But this DualShock 4 has made some major improvements, and so has the Xbox. Not as big as improvements as it has made to Sony have made to DualShock 4, but that doesn't mean it's kind of a bad controller. It just means that their controller was that good on the Xbox 360, is that they didn't really need to make those major improvements, which Sony have made to DualShock 4. And I think it looks great. Obviously, I can't really say anything for the controller because I haven't really tried it out myself, but from what I've been reading, previews and all stuff like that, the PS4 or the DualShock 4, sorry, has or does look to have been, vastly improved, and I think it has catched up to the Xbox One controller. So again, that's a debatable topic, and I think in the end the controller just comes down to personal preference. I mean, when you use it, it's whatever suits you best, and when you do start using it, you just get used to that controller, and I think it just comes down to what that person likes. So I don't think that's much of a major topic, but still, they look to be quite even this time around. So again, it could just be what one they prefer on their consoles. So that's the controllers, guys, and in terms of the features that these consoles can offer, I mean, they both have gone their separate ways. Obviously, Sony have focused on this kind of gamer point of view, while Microsoft, I guess, have said that Xbox is kind of a media entertainment, and kind of focused on everything around the media. Well, Sony have still gone in this media way, but they've their main focus is on the games. And one of the features which I'm actually looking most forward to on my on the PlayStation 4 is remote play. And when they first announced this, I wasn't that excited for it, because I didn't really see that it could work all the time. I didn't think that many games would actually have the feature. But from now I'm seeing it. These new videos coming out where they're playing Battlefield 4, Killzone Shadowfall. I mean, Assassin's Creed, Need for Speed. All these titles on the remote play, and there's not. I mean, there is lag. It looks like there is a little bit lag on the video, but it looks great on the PlayStation Vita. And I honestly thought, that it wouldn't be able to, be that good or look that good on the PlayStation Vita, because I thought that people might not, or the developers might not put it in that game. But it looks like a lot of developers are actually supporting remote play, because all these third-party publishers have actually put remote play in the game, and also the first party as well. So I'm excited to kind of use that as well. And it was something which was actually promised for PSP to PS3, but it never happened, and it's good to see that happening now with the PlayStation 4. So with the Xbox One, guys, they do obviously have their own features. They obviously have several features with the Kinect, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not a big fan of. Obviously, Sony do have the PlayStation Live, but I'm not going to be purchasing that, because I'm not kind of into all that stuff. I'd rather just have the controller in front of me, and just play, like I've played all these years, instead of doing all these other things. But I can see why people can like it, and I can see why they done it. Obviously, with their Xbox with their Kinect are a little bit more advanced, because they had that experience with releasing Kinect 1 on the 360, and then they're obviously releasing with the One. So there isn't many games for it, I don't think, out now. But as you all know from obviously these videos we've been seeing, you can use obviously Kinect in the UI. So swiping from page to page, loading up Skype and all these apps like that. But again, I'm not personally, I'm not a fan of it, and I don't, to be honest, I don't really understand why Microsoft are kind of forcing people to use it by including it in any box. I mean, I can see why they done it. They want Kinect to be part of their the experience. But I just thought that it could have been better if they took it out and made it an option, and that obviously would have reduced the price of the Xbox One as well. So again, that's just opinion based, and that's just basically what people prefer. And in terms of media, I do think the Xbox One does have the upper hand on media. They obviously have all these great apps like Skype. They have Sky and all these other things. Obviously NBA and all that stuff in North America. But again, I'm not. I mean, I can see why people can will go to the Xbox One because of this, but because I'm buying this because of a gaming console. It's not something which is going to appeal to me. So again, that's just opinion based, and if people want those features, and then they can go to those features. But I got if I want to watch TV, I'll go turn on my Skybox and I'll have a look at watch TV. I'm not personally a big fan of all these media apps. I mean, that's not to say I don't use them. I have used I do use things like YouTube on my PS3, Netflix, but sometimes BBC iPlayer. But sometimes, or sorry, the majority of times I'm playing games, which is why I go on my PS3. So my thoughts on both of the consoles. I do think that PS4 at the minute does have the upper hand, and I do think that at the minute it does look like a better console. And notice that I am saying at the minute because you don't want to kind of jump to conclusions and say the PS4 is better than the Xbox One, because we're only at the start of this generation. I mean, you look at current gen, you look how the consoles have changed over time, how they improved in terms of games, and how everything's changed. So who knows what could happen in the future? But at the minute, guys, the PS4, in my opinion, does definitely have the upper hand, and it's the reason why personally I am buying the PlayStation 4. I do think that it's the better console for me personally, and I think that is something that people forget. Regardless of what's better, we do have a choice of two great consoles here, the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. So choose what's best suited to you. And yeah, guys, enjoy your next gen experience. And yeah, I got 2 weeks now left until the PlayStation 4 releases here in Europe. So I'm getting Battlefield 4 and FIFA 14 for next gen, and hopefully pick up some more games down the line. I was looking forward to Watch Dogs, but obviously that got delayed, so that was a bit of a disappointment. But hopefully I'll have enough fun on Battlefield 4 and FIFA. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next few days. Now we'll have to look. We'll have a look at some PS4 because obviously it releases in North America on the 15th. Xbox One releases 22nd November, and then obviously PS4 a week later in Europe on the 29th of November. So yeah, guys, exciting times ahead. Let me know in the comment section below what console you're buying, what games you're buying, and yeah, we can have a good discussion down there. And if you haven't already, subscribe because I have a lot more videos coming. And also, guys, please be able to please show your support in this video by giving this video a like. And yeah, I'll see you now in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.